Hi, listeners. In episode 2, we begin following the characters around a bit to see what kind of trouble they can get into at Mercy Falls High. At this point in the series, we have absolutely no agenda in terms of where we want the story to go. We haven't yet made threats or countdown clocks or anything like that. I present a very basic sort of opening situation with Chad and the drug dealer just to give the action a little push, and I also put Kyle's disappearance on the table as something the characters may explore if they choose, but otherwise we're just letting the players stretch their legs a bit, firing off some moves and kind of seeing where the results take us. Enjoy.
You know, you get my money, we'll be even, Steven. How about that?
Fair enough. Done. You're a peach, Austin.
He's like, and he looks at you and he says, I'm trying to figure out what fruit most represents your personality, Margo. Prickly pear? No, thanks. Homeroom. You're all in homeroom. You can all be together. You can chit-chat with each other if you wish. Jonah, Ben comes in to homeroom. You're there. And he will see something different about you. What is it that he would want to emulate?
The thing he's wanting to emulate is I've got my jeans tucked into my boots.
Oh, nice. Ben kind of hits the threshold of the door of the homeroom, and he kind of leans in and kind of looks in and sees you, and his eyes kind of widen when he looks at your jeans tucked into your boots. Then we see him just recede behind the threshold of the door, so you can't see him anymore. Right? And then he comes in and his jeans are totally tucked into his boots, right? Maybe no one remarks on it, who knows? But Lilith, you probably notice it, right?
The camera shows him walking in with the things, and then it pans over and we see Lilith roll her eyes, and then it pans over back to Margo, and I walk over to Margo and I'm like, I saw you talking to that guy, just so you know, he's bad news. He sells drugs.
No shit.
Yeah, I've heard crazy.
Do you want
stuff.
some drugs? Are you afraid to ask? I can introduce you to him. He's really not a bad guy.
You like drugs?
Who doesn't?
Yeah, who doesn't? And then she's sort of pretends that she's getting a text, and she's like, starts going back to her desk.
Nice. Does he call you something you're friends, right? You and Ben.
Probably Lil.
Lil. Okay, yeah. So he calls you Lil. He's like, hey Lil. He's like, what's going on?
Are you sure I'm the one that you want to talk to?
He very conspicuously puts his leg or kind of puts his foot on the chair, to kind of tie his shoe or whatever to show the jeans tucked in.
And thinks that he's doing a pose off of a magazine cover or whatever, right?
And I think he's just trying to do a thing of look how cool I am, right? To you.
Yeah, that's when Lil is like, are you sure I'm the one that you want to impress, Ben?
He's like, I don't need to impress anybody. And then he sits down, gets his stuff out. You're trying to shut him down. It sounds like you're shutting him down a little bit.
Yeah, I think she doesn't like talking to Ben anymore, so she's always just short and curt with him.
Got it. Okay. Nice. That could be shut someone down if he were really trying to act. I think he actually is trying to get your attention. He's
okay.
He's kind of he's like, did you see my jeans? He's just gonna come out with it now. Everyone
saw your jeans, and I say it a little too loudly too to try to embarrass him.
He's like, well, this is the style. This is how people are doing it. It's pretty. Huh, Jonah? He turns.
As soon as he does that, Jonah untucks his jeans from his.
That's shutting someone down. That's shutting someone down. Right? Yeah, that's definitely shutting someone down. Roll with cold.
Oh snap!
Oh, not so good. I have +2 cold, but that's still only 6.
I could maybe part of it is that Lilith is still protective of him, even though she doesn't like him much anymore. She's there's still residual friendship things. So
don't be an asshole, right? Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, I'm into that. Yeah, we can give him a condition. Maybe you say something like that. What do you say to him?
Yeah, don't be a jerk, Jonah.
And then I think even like who's the sensitive one, Tony?
Yeah.
I think Tony's like, he's like, yeah, Jonah, that's fucked up, man. Like, come on. Like,
What am I feeling from him?
I think he like kind of feels like maybe you're being kind of a jerk to Ben, and he kind of resents you for it. And I think I'm going to give you a condition of
Cowed.
Yeah, Cowed is pretty good. Yeah, I think Cowed is pretty good. Like this is a little brief moment of like everyone just kind of telling you like, God, what a jerk you are. Like, quit being such a dick.
So I think after like that comment, I think I kind of like walk over and just because we're teenagers and I'm going to pile on here is
nice.
I'm going to go in between the desk between Rhodey and Jonah and just kind of like lean my back, like sit on Rhodey's desk and like put my shoes up on Jonah's desk, which have my jeans tucked into my boots. And, and I just kind of like sit there like it's okay, man. It's like we don't all have to be like Jonah. Like we know what's up.
Are you trying to shut Jonah down? That's kind of what it sounds like. Or...
I think it's either shutting Jonah down or it's turning Ben on to like make him feel better.
Yeah, it could be either.
I feel like it's turning someone on more than that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm into turn Ben on. Yeah, and I think because you invoke Jonah's condition a little bit, you can get a +1 to the roll.
So I got an 11.
This is on Ben. You get a string.
Yep.
And they choose a reaction from below. Oh, I get it. I got it. You can see like Ben just gets like just red in the face. Like he just flushes like really, really red. He's like looking for an escape route, basically, you know, like for how he's feeling. And he kind of like looks at you, Lilith, like to sort of change the subject a little bit, you know, like help me out here, help me out. And he just says something really fucking awkward. Oh, I know. He goes, hey, he's like, hey, Lilith, like, your hair looks really red today.
Yeah. And Lilith is like still drinking in Serena. Like she's like same reaction as Ben, and she kind of gets out of the stupor as well. She's like, yeah, but pretty red. And then maybe that's when Thompson comes in and saves us all.
Yeah, possibly. I'm into that. So Mr. Thompson comes in. He's like, all right, everybody have a seat. I hope everyone enjoyed their weekend. You all notice as you all kind of take your seat that Kyle's seat is empty. He's not in the room. He's like, okay, I've got an announcement from the office. Just he's got a few announcements. He goes over some, you know, basic things. You know, homecoming's coming up, and all that stuff. The homecoming committee needs help deciding on what the theme is. Last year's theme was a little too high-minded. No one really understood it. So we're hoping this year that the committee will come up with something a little more grounded, like, you know, undersea fantasy, cowboys and Indians, that kind of thing. Last year's whole like sort of, I guess, what do you guys suppose the really like bizarre theme was last year that no one understood or got?
Oh, Inside Out theme from the movie, and everyone was like, "What the?"
Like an emotion.
Yeah, right.
No one understood.
They're like, "It'll help the kids express themselves," and all the kids were like, "What?"
Nice. Yeah, and so he's going through all the announcements and even all of his. And now I've got something a little more serious to go over now. So it's been brought to our attention that Kyle Norwood has apparently been missing since Friday. His parents have not seen him. They don't know what's going on. So the office says if you know anything about Kyle's whereabouts, maybe where he was this weekend, or maybe where he might be, please just let the principal know. If you want to go up there, you know, sort of confidentially, that's cool. You can tell me after class. We're just trying to keep the lines of communication open. If anybody knows what's going on with Kyle, like, just let somebody know, okay? Otherwise, it's kind of treated like, oh, you know, kid maybe ran away or something.
Maybe Chad says something stupid like, "Did anybody text him?"
Nice.
Jonah is texting him right now in class.
There's no response. So, you know.
Does it say delivered though on the iMessage?
Oh, he uses Android, so.
But otherwise, yeah, the bell rings, homeroom's over. We can proceed from there.
Yeah, so I think it's like a crowded lunchroom when Lilith is walking in, and there's some like pop song playing, like Simple Plan or some crap.
Right, yeah.
And like as soon as we enter the room, it like cuts like a record, like scratch. And she
Nice.
goes over to Jonah, and she's like, "Hey, Jonah."
Jonah's at the table with Tony, Rhodey, and Don. The way that they eat is they all like get different stuff and like put it in the middle of the table.
Oh,
And then they all
nice.
just have like a fork and they all just like share and go in.
Oh,
Nice.
God.
That's great.
That's
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, she sort of like has like a raised eyebrow, but is she has like the face like she wants something from you, so she's enduring this weird thing to talk to you now.
Jonah like pauses from eating and he has his arms on the table and he's like, "Hey Lilith, how's it going?"
It's crazy about Kyle though, right?
And when you say that, you notice he kind of like looks down and then he looks up and he says, "Have you heard any like rumors or anything?"
Like she hasn't actually heard anything, but she's like, maybe he wandered into the woods.
Jonah takes a bite. He's chewing it. And then you can tell he's kind of thinking a bit. And then he swallows and without looking at you, he says, "I don't think he would do that." But he sounds like really uncertain.
Yeah. You know, I'm a little bit I'm tired of being alone. Maybe you can spread the word around that I'm a cool person to hang out with.
Are you asking Jonah to be your like Serena Bergerac right now? What's going on here?
Like I'm trying. I don't know. I'm still trying to formulate it, but basically, she wants to not be like. She wants to be like a cool kid, and she wants to force Jonah to get her into that club.
Oh, he's trying to get him to make a promise. Yeah.
Yeah, and she brought up the woods to try to make him like
intrigue him a little bit. Yeah,
and also like make him see his reaction, like if he's not trying to get that information around.
I mean, do you have a string on him right now?
Yeah.
This is a great time to spend it.
Oh yeah, I should probably do that. Yeah, she's just like, I think I'm pretty cool to hang out with. Don't you think? And sort of like coming off of the mentioning the forest about what happened before. She's doing that, and then I'll spend a string to get an in socially. Click, like you start mentioning my name around like more positively, and I just get more social cred kind of thing.
Basically, want you to vouch for her.
Okay.
Help her become more popular.
So I think what Jonah does is what are the others doing at the table here?
I think like Rhodey and Dawn are just like fighting over a cheeseburger or whatever. Not too concerned about them presently, but I think Tony might be like, yeah, I think Tony might even be trying to step on your territory a little bit here. I think Jonah, I'm still hitting the cow thing. I think Tony would be like, oh yeah, Lilith, like you're pretty, you're cool. You seem like you could be a pretty cool chick. I mean, people should get to know you. Like he's just kind of stepping on your authority here a little bit, Jonah.
When he says that, I think Jonah is going to look at Tony because I think Tony is like sitting across the table from me.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to like reach over and like pull at his shirt.
Okay.
I think he like ends up snapping a button on it or something.
Okay.
And then he like brings his like thumb up like he got some food. He's like, "You had some food on your shirt there."
Oh, to kind of threaten him a little bit.
Yeah, I just think he's trying to like throw him off a little bit.
Okay, I'm into
like,
that.
Mess with him in a weird way.
Yeah, I think you're kind of shutting him down. I'll take that as shutdown. Seems good.
It's a weird shutdown, but yes.
Go ahead and fire it off. We'll resolve it in a minute. What'd you get?
It's a 9.
Okay, I'm going to circle back to that. Margo, you're probably at lunch too, right? Are you in the lunchroom?
Yeah, I sure am.
At a certain point, you see like Chad and his football friends like laughing and kind of carrying on about some bullshit, right? And he's like, hold up, bros. I gotta go drain the lizard. And he gets up, and he kind of like go to the bathroom. I don't know. He's by himself. Might be a good time to make your move.
Yeah, I'm gonna ghost along behind him just when he's getting up to the bathroom door.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm gonna slide in front of him. Hey, Chad.
He's like, what the fuck do you want?
Well, I've got a problem, and I think you could help me out with it.
he looks at you, and I think he's gonna I think he's a total dick, right? He's like, because your character's Asian, right?
Yep.
I think he's like, yeah, I don't know anything about immigration. Sorry, can't help you. And he just like tries to push past you to go into the bathroom.
I'm just gonna put up my hand on his chest and just stop him.
What the
Hold
fuck?
up. Look, you owe some people some money. You need to pay up.
He's like, oh, what? Are you like an enforcer now? And he kind of like, I think he like really gets like in your face, like real like up close. And like he's clearly taller than you, and he's a big football guy. Do keep her cool.
Oh, 3.
3.
Which is awesome.
Go and mark an experience point. He like gets all up in your face, and he's like, is this like some like Tony Soprano shit? Like, what do you like? Are you fucking out of your mind? Like, you don't fucking step to me like this. And I think he just gets physical with you. I think he just puts his finger on your forehead, you know, like in a real like kind of, and then he just like pushes you with his finger, and you bonk your head on the back of the frame of the door, or you take a harm. And then he's like, now, if you excuse me, and he just goes into the bathroom.
I will follow him in.
Oh,
Kick
right.
the door open.
Escalate situation. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Welcome to Smash Cut. Leave that there for a minute. Serena, what are you up to? This lunch scene is getting pretty hot. Where are you at?
Yeah, so I think I'm chilling with Alan, and like we're just like kind of sitting, but like I think I'm sort of like watching the room, and as soon as I see like Margo like get up and then like follow Chad into the bathroom, like I think I like stand up and look around to see everything, and then like I walk over to the table with like Jonah and Tony and Rhodey. I think I have like my fork, and I just like stab it into like something that they have there, and just like take it and like just like I'm going there just to get their attention, and then walk off, go stand like outside of the bathroom.
Oh, nice.
Like you're sitting there waiting, listening to sort of like draw the whole room to pay attention to what's going on. Even if I'm not like calling anyone out, I'm trying to like gather the attention of the room.
I want to resolve that move then that Jonah just did to see where that falls into this. So Jonah, what'd you roll on that move to shut him down?
Oh, I rolled a 9.
A 9. Well, on 7 to 9, choose one from below, but you leave a sour impression. So they give you a condition in return. So you're shutting down Tony. Which of those choices would you like?
I think I'll give him the condition embarrassed.
Okay. I'm going to give you the condition threatened. I
just realized what I took. You know how Tony and Rhodey were fighting over a cheeseburger? I totally grabbed the cheeseburger and
walked off. Awesome. Lilith offered you an experience point basically by spending that string if you will make the contract with Lilith to basically help her become more popular. As long as you're doing that, you get to mark an experience point, and Fraser can take note of the contract.
I think what happens is that he after he like does that thing with Tony, he looks up to Lilith and he's like, yeah, we got your back.
And that's when the Serena comes in and grabs the cheeseburger.
So I kind of want to add a little bit to it because Lilith, you're still there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I think maybe what happens is I come up like maybe behind you to grab the cheeseburger, and like I rest my hand on your shoulder, and like I just kind of like lean over the whole table like to grab the cheeseburger. I'm like, thanks, honeys. And like I just like kind of like let my hand linger a little bit as I like walk off to it. I'll be like standing like outside the bathroom with my back to the wall, just like eating it and like licking the sauce off my finger. Like, so what I was gonna say is I kind of want to, since I have strings on both Jonah and Lilith, I'll tempt them both, offer them experience to basically come over and make this like a big scene around the.
I like that. Yeah, around the bathroom. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Yeah,
do you guys take that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mark XP.
Okay. If I get up, do the others in my gang get up as well?
Yeah, they'll get up with you as well. Okay. So Margo, I think everyone's going to be kind of like arriving over around the bathroom, like maybe right after you walk inside to follow up with Chad. And Chad turns around and he's like, "Do you have a fucking death wish, Margo? What the hell?"
Well, I Snapchat this to everybody. As soon as I start hearing that, I like start the Snapchat, and then I like make it my story, and I send it to everyone.
Okay, so this is going on in the bathroom now. Are you going in the bathroom? Is that what's happening here?
Well, I thought I could just hear it from outside.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, sure. Okay, yeah, sure. That's fine. But anyway, back with Chad, though. He's like, do you have a death wish, Margo? What the fuck?
Look, you don't fucking push me around. You don't want to talk to me, walk around me. But I'm not putting up with that shit. Now look, you owe
You're not putting
Austin
up with that shit? What does that mean precisely? How
I
are you
shove
not
him
putting up with that shit?
right
you
back
shove him.
into the
Okay.
sink. Yep.
That's
Like
like
the double-handed. So
Yeah, roll volatile.
that's 12.
12. Nice. Let's see here. On 10 plus, you deal harm, and they choke up momentarily before they can react. So basically, you have control of the situation here. Tell me how you shove him. What do you shove him into? What happens there?
Shove him back into the sink,
Okay.
and his feet kind of go out from behind him, and he has to grab onto the sinks on either side to keep from falling down.
Nice.
And his head goes back into the mirror. Not hard enough to crack it, but
yeah, it's enough for a harm, though.
Yeah.
I think it might be interesting at this point for you guys, everybody else outside the bathroom, to be involved. Like maybe you hear the scuffle, maybe you hear the cry of like, what the fuck, and all that. Going around the table, what do? Lilith, you're Snapchatting it, okay? What about you, Jonah?
Yeah, I think once we hear the scuffling, me and my gang all just go in there and break it up.
Serena, what do you do? Same thing? Or do you just hang
so
outside?
you're breaking it. You're going to try to break it up, Jonah?
Well, I guess I find Margo intimidating, right? So
yeah,
maybe I won't. Maybe I won't break it up. I don't feel. Yeah.
So what I was going to say is, because my response is going to be different if you're like charging in there, because what I want to do is sort of just kind of like slow, like kind of like lean against the inside of the door frame, push the door open with my foot. The door's wide open, so we're seeing all of this as like, because I think I noticed Lilith like with her phone out, like Snapchatting it. We can frame everything, like I'm just like leaning out there, like pushing the door open so everything is visible and we can hear everything.
I think what I do is I look to Tony, because Tony's on the team with Chad, and I'm just like, can you go in there and take care of this? Or
he will. Yeah, I mean, you
as soon as Tony like comes up, because I imagine myself in between the door and like where they are, it's like I kind of put my hand up and just like rested on Tony's chest. So I'm like, let this play out.
And Tony looks at you, Jonah, like, should I let this play out or?
And I pause and I think for a second. Now, I don't really care about Chad or Margo.
Right.
Margo just kind of scares me. What I do is I look to Lilith and I'm like, you're sending this to everyone, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I think that you can see the mirror behind them. And maybe what you don't notice now is that even though I should be in frame in the Snapchat or in the mirror, I have no reflection.
Oh,
so
nice.
like you don't like you see the foreground, but like I'm not there in the background.
Maybe
like,
you have that evidence on Snapchat too. Like
yeah.
Oh,
But it's
great.
Snapchat, it goes away.
It goes away after a day, right? Yeah.
It's my story. It's not my story.
Maybe just have it set to a 24-hour thing and it goes away after the 24 hours. Well, so let's go back to Margo. Margo, you've pushed it. Maybe you're just you're in a fugue. You don't even see these guys doing all this. You just push.
I'm totally focused.
Yeah.
Chad,
and he's like, oh shit, and he's like kind of holding his head and he's trying to like get up. What do you do?
Okay, well, just real quick, mechanically, I have primal dominance.
Okay,
so
nice.
I get a string when I reflect harm
Oh,
on
nice.
someone.
Good. Okay, cool.
So I've got a string on Chad now.
Sweet.
And I'm gonna shove him one more time.
Mm-hmm.
Not like super hard, but keeping him off balance, leaning back. I'm like, look, fucker, you're going to pay up. Come on. I know you jocks have cash. Come on, 120 right now.
He's like, all right.
I put my other hand on his crotch and like, otherwise the little lizard gets destroyed.
Nice. He's like, look. He's like, I don't have the money on me right now, but I'll get it just after class. All right, just back the fuck off. All right, back off. And you're spending that string for that result.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'll give him one more shove and storming out of the bathroom. And I'll be like noticing all these people. I'm like, what the fuck? Don't you have lunch to eat, people? Sit back down by myself.
I think when you go out, like I just sort of like let the door close and like swing and just like start of like the slow clap of like, yeah, because like that guy deserved what he got.